Hello. All right, so today we're going to talk about special cases of linear functions, vertical and horizontal lines. So we're really going to focus on how do we graph horizontal and vertical lines, and then how do we write the equation of those two as well. All right, to get us going here today, take a look at this picture. How many staples are in the strip on the right there? We'll pause here. Okay, so once again, how do I write an equation for a horizontal or vertical line? That's what we're going to learn today. What we've discussed already is slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and then standard form, ax plus by equals c. So these are two forms that we've already discussed of linear functions, and we've touched on a couple of the other ones, but we're going to kind of come back to that today. All right, so a reminder about our slopes. Slope m, again, and that's rise over run. When we looked at slopes initially a while back, we said we really have four types: positive slope, a negative slope, and then if it's flat or straight across, the slope is 0. Okay, so this one right here, this has a slope of 0. And this one right here has an undefined slope. If it's straight up and down, we say it's undefined. So these last two right here, these are horizontal and vertical lines. And we're going to talk about those a little bit right now. Okay, so taking a look at this, a vertical line is a line that's straight up and down. That's called a vertical line, okay? And a horizontal line is one like on the right there in red that's straight across. Okay, you can see the word horizon right there is in that. And remember, horizon is like where the sun comes up. So like if you had the sun right here, this is the horizon. So it's across, straight across. So that's one way to remember how horizontal lines are straight across. Okay, so now vertical lines, let's go back to this one on the left here. If we look at this, a vertical line, how do we write the equation for that? The equation is x equals a. That's the general equation, as you can see here. And this a, this is our x-intercept. Okay? Remember, the x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So here would be where the graph crosses the x-axis. So really, if you know that this is a vertical line, you can simply say the equation for this is x equals 2, since this graph crosses the x-axis at 2. Now, it also says to what is the slope of this line. So we just said all vertical lines. If we go back up here, all vertical lines, this is a vertical line, right? All vertical lines have an undefined slope. So always, when you see a vertical line, you should think this is undefined slope. Okay, so though this is the equation for that line, and this is its slope. Okay. Now, horizontal lines, like this one right here, a horizontal line, again, is straight across, just like the horizon. And this general equation here, it's always y equals b, and b, just like before, your b value is your y-intercept, remember. So where does it cross the y-axis? And you can see here in the graph crosses here at -3. So the equation for this line is simply y equals -3. Okay, so these are kind of weird equations. All the other equations we've had have an x and a y. These only have one or the other. Okay? And then slope of this line, notice if we go back up here, all horizontal lines, that's these ones right here, all horizontal lines always have a slope of 0. It's flat, okay? So it's not steep at all. So this, what is the slope of this line? 0, okay? So vertical and horizontal lines, if you're ever stuck, this is a good spot to come back to, a good slide to look at. Okay, so now we're going to use that to help us with some problems. So on your assignment, you'll be asked things like this. to write the equation of the line that's given and then identify the slope. So let's do that. Let's see here. Okay, so this equation, it's horizontal. Okay, so it's left to right. I know that that has a slope of 0, so I might even start by writing that. Okay, now the equation then is going to be y equals b, and where does it cross? It crosses the y-axis at 5. Okay, so y equals 5. And notice I can compare that to this one, this red one on the right there. Notice y equals 3, and it looks similar, it's straight across. So I can compare to make sure. Okay, this one on the right, in purple there, this equation is vertical. This is a vertical line. And if you are wanting to write the slope first, you could do that. You know that all vertical lines have an undefined slope. Okay, and so the equation of this would be x equals a. Okay, so now where does this cross? I know it's going to be x equals. Where does it cross the x-axis? It crosses at -1. So that's the equation for that, x equals -1. All right, and that's it. Okay, now let's look at another thing you'll have to be able to do is to go the other way. If I give you the equation, can you graph it? Okay, so let's do that. Let's try that the other way. Okay, graph the line and identify the slope. So y equals 6. If you're not sure, you can always go back and look at this slide. Y equals b, it's a horizontal line, look like that on the right. Okay, so this should be a horizontal line at 6. So I want to graph a horizontal line that should pass through the y-axis at 6. Okay, again, make sure your line goes all the way through the graph. There we go, we've just graphed it. Now what's the slope of this line? Remember, the slope is always, for a horizontal line, 0. All right, and then what about this one? X equals -4. So x equals a is always a vertical line. So this should go vertical line that passes through the x-axis at -4. So that will look like this. Okay, it's vertical. So the slope is undefined. Okay, and I'm done. So there are some weird cases of linear functions. All right, and that's it. Really, don't forget to write this into your student assignment book, your planner, wherever you're doing that. It's special cases worksheet. So again, put that into your planner for today, and then go ahead and get this done. Hopefully you can get this done pretty quickly. All right, good luck. See ya.